In the not-too-distant future, climate change and famine push Earth toward an extinction event. Riots and protests dominate the streets, and by the year 2242, humanity reaches a breaking point. A fleet of 42 ships called the Ark is destined to carry 300,000 survivors to a new planet, nicknamed New Earth, located in a distant solar system. The remaining 19 billion people on Earth are doomed. Noah is not among the fortunate chosen to board the ships, but his pregnant girlfriend Haley is. Together, they hatch a plan to sneak onto the last ship. However, they are quickly separated by the guards. Haley is dragged inside as chaos erupts when desperate people storm the fence and the guards are forced to open fire. Aboard the ship, Haley listens as her father, Admiral Kieran Adams, delivers a welcome speech. Her attention is drawn when she sees Noah running toward her. She introduces him to her father, but hides the fact that he is her boyfriend, presenting him only as someone who helped her reach the ship, fearing that if Kieran knew Noah was the father, he would react violently. As preparations begin to put the passengers into cryogenic sleep, only staff, guards, mechanics, doctors, and janitors remain awake. Noah, disguised as a janitor, stays behind and says goodbye to Haley before she is placed into stasis. The crew readies for the quantum jump, and Noah inadvertently sits in the seat assigned to Clay Young. The ship jumps at hyperluminal speed and reaches another galaxy in a matter of seconds. However, due to time dilation, 30 years have passed on Earth, meaning everyone left behind is dead. Later, the crew gathers for a meal and watches as the guards find a stowaway and eject him into space through an airlock. Commander Stanley reminds the team that they have 182 days before reaching New Earth and that he is in command until then, since Kieran is also in stasis. That night, Noah discovers he's sharing a bunk with Clay, who shows no interest in befriending him. The next morning, Noah visits Haley while she sleeps, but Clay interrupts him via hologram, reminding him of his work duties. As days pass, Noah works tirelessly as a janitor, while the rest of the crew plays cards and relaxes, unaware that something in the shadows is watching. One night, Noah sees Clay and another crew member lurking with mysterious containers. Soon afterward, an alarm sounds. Someone tried to access the reactor, a zone only the Admiral can enter. Stanley goes to investigate and hears unsettling noises from above but finds nothing. Increasingly suspicious, Stanley asks Noah if he's seen anything unusual, but Noah remains silent about Clay's activities. Stanley warns him that rebels opposed to colonizing a new planet might attempt to sabotage the mission and urges him to report any strange behavior. Later, Noah accidentally spills a chemical called Moxicell, burning a hole in a table. Meanwhile, Shady drinks in his room, unaware a strange creature has entered his bottle. After drinking, Shady feels ill but shares a cigarette with Blue. However, Shady's pain worsens and he suddenly explodes, covering the room and Blue in blood. Something inside the blood attacks Blue. Back with Noah, he finishes his tasks and tries to contact Clay but gets no response. He goes searching and finds Clay mixing Moxicell. Suddenly, Clay's hologram appears, startling Noah, who flees and runs into Tick. Noah tells Tick that Clay is building a bomb, but Tick reveals he's on Clay's side. Together, they capture Noah, but instead of harming him, Clay's team forces him to drink some moonshine they've been secretly distilling, hiding it from Stanley, who has strict rules against alcohol. Later, the crew holds a birthday party for Ortega and drinks heavily. Stanley inevitably learns about the alcohol. After the celebration, Ortega slips away to look for Blue, only to find him welding alone. When Blue turns around, his face is horribly disfigured. He grabs Ortega and repeatedly slams her against a wall. Meanwhile, Noah attempts to access the ship's computer to alter its data. Clay discovers him, and Noah admits he is the one who got the Admiral's daughter pregnant. Before Clay can decide on a punishment, Stanley calls everyone together, announcing he's found Shady's remains. With Blue and Ortega missing, Stanley suspects Blue is responsible, although Clay is not convinced. The crew begins searching for their missing members. Noah finds Blue welding the Admiral's cabin door. Alerting the others, they rush in armed, but Clay tries reasoning with Blue. Unfortunately, his words have no effect. Blue attacks and almost instantly kills Shu. The crew opens fire, also killing Blue. They take the bodies to the infirmary for Dr. Susan Chambers to perform autopsies. Stanley locks the rest of the crew in their quarters. Susan examines Blue and notes something is dissolving him from within. She collects samples that the ship's computer cannot identify. Inside Blue's body, she discovers a viscous black substance, but no organs. Meanwhile, Tick manages to access security footage of Shady's death. Once Stanley sees the footage, he releases Clay and the group heads to see Susan. She explains that a parasite consumed all of Blue's organs and took control of his body. And that parasite is now loose on the ship. She also counted the crew and discovered that Noah is a stowaway. Stanley is furious, but Clay defends Noah, so Stanley settles for beating him as punishment. The crew concludes that someone brought the parasite aboard to sabotage the mission. Clay suggests awakening the Admiral, but Stanley refuses, noting that no one can access Kieran's quarters. He then decides it's time to expel Noah as a stowaway. Before they act, Tick notices the bodies have disappeared. Suddenly, zombified versions of the bodies attack the crew. Ortega charges at Noah while Shu goes after Tick. Stanley intervenes and opens fire, but the bullets have no effect. Shu kills him with one blow. Ortega is about to kill Noah when Susan grabs a gun and starts shooting, holding the attackers long enough for the crew to escape. As they run through the corridors, they realize the other cryocapsules are unlocking, something only Stanley should be able to do. It's then revealed that Stanley, now a zombie, is leading the others to infect the remaining crew. Clay's group takes refuge in the Moonshine storage room, horrified to hear their comrades being massacred and transformed into monsters. When the zombies pursue them, Clay finds a flamethrower and burns them, activating the fire suppression system and filling the area with fog. The zombies vanish into the mist, and the group cautiously exits. They encounter Lincoln, who quickly joins them. Just as another zombie attacks, they kill it, but another drags Tick into the fog. Clay runs to save him as the others cover. Both men return unharmed. Lincoln suggests using the escape pods, but since they're not yet near New Earth, the group heads for the safety bay. Lincoln reaches a pod and launches it, but a zombie managed to slip in and kills him. Back with Clay's group, they reach the safety bay, just as Stanley appears and grabs Clay, attempting to kill him with a mutated tongue. Noah appears and shoots Stanley, knocking him down, then retreats with Clay into the safety bay and closes the door behind them. For hours, zombies pound on the door and most of the team is ready to give up, but Noah refuses to leave Haley behind. He notices the ventilation shafts and realizes he can reach the Admiral through them. Crawling inside, guided by Clay's hologram, Noah moves quietly through the ducts until he reaches the Admiral's chamber. Lacking computer access, he uses a lever to force open the cryogenic chamber. The team explains everything to Kieran and begins interrogating Tick, who admits that humans brought the parasite back. Kieran awakens his team and realizes Noah impregnated Haley, promising to deal with him later. Armored, the team advances down the hall where zombies continue battering the safety bay door. Some zombies turn to attack the team while others breach Clay's group. A firefight ensues, and they start to thin the horde, but the zombies quickly learn to dodge gunfire and attack in close quarters. Everyone resorts to hand-to-hand combat. Blue corners Noah in the supply room and begins beating him. Noah fights back, grabs a container of Moxicell and hurls it at Blue, disintegrating and killing him. Noah returns to the corridor to see that his team has lost the fight. Kieran says a few final words for Haley and then detonates an explosive, wiping out all the zombies. Noah, Clay, and Susan think it's over, but the zombified bodies begin reassembling themselves. The trio runs to grab the Moonshine as the parts fuse into a gigantic mutant that uses Kieran's hand to open the reactor chamber door. Suddenly, the ship shudders and the computer announces that the time to reach New Earth is rapidly decreasing. The zombie is overheating the reactor. That's the parasite's goal, to reach New Earth and annihilate the remaining humans. Blue initially sought the Admiral for this reason. Armed with the improvised flamethrower made from Moonshine, the trio heads out to incinerate zombies. However, the horde grows as infected passengers join the attack on the reactor. They kill as many zombies as they can, but the horde is overwhelming. Clay tells Noah to find Haley and escape in a pod, while he and Susan hold off the attackers. Noah dodges zombies and reaches the cryogenic chamber. He quickly awakens Haley and gives her a weapon. They reunite with Clay and Susan and head for an escape pod. Suddenly, a gigantic zombie mutant appears and kills Susan. Enraged, Clay attempts to burn the monster, but is overwhelmed. With only 15 days left to reach New Earth, Noah and Haley sprint toward a pod, fight off a few zombies, and continue forward. As Haley climbs into the pod and Noah initiates the launch sequence, the giant mutant reappears. Noah sprays it with flamethrower and triggers the fire suppression system to release a fog. Even with limited visibility, the monster strikes Noah, knocking him down near the control panel. After initiating launch, Noah scrambles into the pod and uses the last of the moonshine to incinerate the creature, burning away its mutations until only the parasite remains. Noah quickly joins Haley in the pod and they receive a farewell message from Clay, who ejects their pod before activating the self-destruct sequence, annihilating all zombies and the parasite in a massive explosion. Moments later, Noah and Haley land on New Earth, where they immediately encounter an infected child. As the child approaches, they spot a colossal creature in the distance, and the couple prepares for the next battle.